Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. It's not quite 2025, but we're starting the Flat is Fast series. Should be a good time, should be a fun race. We have, now they've done the two ZRS racing categories. We are at the bottom of both kind of categories. I'm sitting at 335. That just kind of bumps me into the next level. Whatever. We'll see what we can do. It's a flat race. Speaking of which, we should manage our bike here. And get that all set up. So hopefully you guys had a good week. Hopefully you had a better racing weekend than I did. Thanks for everybody again that came in to support me during the London PRL. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, that aren't on the Discord, that didn't figure it out, we had a catastrophic crash on our end. Basically what happened, I saw a hiccup in the graphics and then everything froze. I was there for a couple seconds. I could see sauce still moving, so I kept on going, hoping that we would get a reconnect, and then ultimately the computer reset, and that was the end of it. I tried to get back in, and we were done. Officially 166 kilometers in. It was pretty much, I was right at the end, so what can you do? It's heartbreaking after putting in that effort to just kind of have the computer sabotage everything. So I guess DNF due to mechanical is the way to put it. And yeah, it's, what can I say? It's just, that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. That's how things work out. In our case, it didn't work out well. But today, Flat is Fast. We're doing Tempus Fugit. It should be hopefully competitive. I mean, we'll see. Like I said, I am peaking at the bottom of the category. I'm at like 135, so, or 335. So it doesn't matter which one I am. I'm still in that C Cat 4 category. I don't even know what to call the categories anymore, but C/B. It'll be fast. I enjoyed my podiums in the category lower. Obviously those caught up to me. Last one being a climb that I actually podiumed, which is something kind of unique, I guess, for me in a sense. Like, normally I don't podium climbing races, so who knows? Who knows? But now we're on flat, so even being at the bottom of the category, I am hoping to be able to at least hold on and be there for the sprint. Albeit, if I'm pushing sort of the envelope of things, it'll be not the biggest sprint I can produce. We'll see how motivated the groups are. I've seen some pretty massive race groups for these flat Z racing. So it should be fun. Should be fun at the end of the day. Hopefully we'll get some of you people that were over on Zwifty chat there, enjoying the show on the live. Rob always puts together a good show there. I know a lot of you were in there when I logged off. It was just starting the quiz. I am terrible at the quiz. Quiz is not my thing. My Zwift knowledge for like trivia, like I'm not a trivia guy, I guess is what it comes down to. We just don't do good in the trivia department. But that's okay. All right. Kick in the sauce. We got like 29 minutes before the event. We're just going to kind of noodle here. The other thing that having the computer crash, it wreaked havoc on my festive 500 numbers, but we recovered some of the data, which is good. As I fall off the back here. Legs are feeling a bit tight, to be honest. At the end of the day, I mean, that was a massive ride. We took the entire day off yesterday. Threw the compression boots on for an hour. That seemed to help with the flush in a big way. Granted, when you do a ride like that, there is going to be some residual kind of things. I'm curious what Trainer Road says. We'll just pop that in now, actually. Take a look. I think we were all clear for today, which we are. All good and clear, no yellow. If we go back to the calendar, you will see it's been pushing it, and we took the rest day after the race. So, or after the 5 hours and 52 minutes on the bike, all for no badge. Ah, well, happens. It's the thing, man. It's, you know, you can plan forever. You can do some massive events too. It's get out there and things just go wrong. And that's, you got to bounce back from those things. You got to make it happen. So we got like 27 minutes before the event. Like I said, we're just going to cruise around here at a very low pace, add a couple kilometers to our overall RAFA total, which I think at this point we're like 80 or 90 short, which is fine. We've got basically 2 days left, I think, or this ride and tomorrow to complete it. I mean, it shouldn't be a big deal. Tomorrow will just be a soft spin, and we'll wrap that up, even though it should have been wrapped up 2 days ago. Like I said, it's just funny how your plans get derailed. I mean, it should have, with my warm-up here and the race, should have been awfully close to completing the 500 just from this alone. I mean, the nice thing is you got Bernie. This is like a chill pace. And at the end of the day, you know, it's pretty light kilometers. The race will be fast though. I haven't taken a look in there, but I imagine there will be a ton of Cab B guys. Let's not join yet. Let's see what we're going. Yeah, so it's 270 to 390. I mean, I'm at 330, so I guess this is optimally where I should be. We've got C's. Oh, that's good. The first four are like all C's. It's good to see C, there's a B. It's interesting. You can't see, like a lot of these people have them set to privates. And we've got a dirt team member in here. So, all good at the end of the day. see if we have any familiar names. I saw initially, yeah, Z1's in here. And that's it. That's it for familiar names that I can see at the moment. And there I am falling off the back again. Like I said, we're just kind of keeping it chill. Get the legs moving. It's the first time they've moved since the London PRL. So, gonna be interesting. I should have done it today too. I should have doubled up on my the scoops of electrolytes. Lesson learned from the PRL is maybe I need to go a little bit heavier on the electrolyte powder. Even though I had a scoop a bottle, which is what you're supposed to do. And I was slamming those back. It wasn't enough to prevent the cramps from coming. It was wild. Now, part of me wonders if it's from the creatine monohydrate that I've been taking in conjunction with the weight training, because it does sometimes cause cramps. But at the end of the day, I'm doing all right. Hey Miguel, how's it going? It was great to watch the U.S. Marines try the Tempus Fugit attempt the other day on your stream. It was entertaining. Those boys were going for it, for sure. That was hella powerful, hella powerful. We're just doing laps on Tempest, warming up, getting ready, all that kind of good stuff. It was good to see a massive crowd over on Zwifty Zwifter's podcast today. I know they must have rescheduled because normally they're Fridays, but today being Monday, and me actually being at home, I got to watch and listen to a good chunk of it while I was doing stuff. Nice for a change. So bike of choice here, obviously, Venge and Disc. You racing today at all, Miguel? I can't keep track of the Zwift racing score anymore. It just, it's not sticking in my head what's actually what these days. Well, best of luck in that. That is, it's going to be a tough series. All the power to you, man. Yeah, it's not cool. It's not cool at all back to back. Hopefully no system issue. I know, Nick, it's We got things up and running earlier, reset a bunch of stuff. I hope we don't have a repeat. I mean, I think what it was is like, that was 6 hours of streaming on the laptop. Laptop might have got too hot. Although there is a fan blowing it on it in here, there is air circulation. So not only to keep me cool, but I guess keep it cool. And at the end of the day, it just didn't want to do its job anymore, so that was it. Yeah, it was just, the irony is, I think, had I not been experiencing the cramps so bad for like 4 or 5 laps or whatever it was, I would have been finished. But those times I had to stop and like, or back completely off to like, you know, like 1 watt, a kilogram kind of deal. I think it took a big chunk out of my time. I think I would have been finished otherwise. So it's unfortunate. But that's how things are, you know, mechanicals are mechanicals. It's just nothing you can do about it. Oh, I know. It's crazy. I guess nobody's really heard what happened. So as I was going across the bridge, I was starting to push a bit, just to kind of keep distance going, keep the momentum going. And then I saw a hookup in the graphics, and then it was over. The irony was, like, hey Ryan, good to see you, is that you know, I had just basically joked, and seeing that Ryan's here, I had joked about, somebody had mentioned that Ryan was about a minute behind. And I said, well, knowing that, I said, you know, my competitive nature, I don't want him to pass. You know, I said, but that'll be up to my cramps whether or not that happens, because I was still cramping quite badly, and there was times, again, that I would have to spin at, you know, 100 watts to just kind of let them subside, and then I could get back on the power. But at that particular moment, I was feeling good. I was back up to 2.5, you know, watts a kilo, and then it hiccuped, and then it was going, and that was it. And it stopped. I could see sauce kind of playing in the background. I could see my numbers were still going. It still had the map. I was still moving on the map. But Zwift had completely disappeared. OBS had completely frozen. I couldn't move the cursor, and I just kind of went with it, and eventually the system just completely reset. I tried to jump back in to see if it would let me jump in and, you know, ramp back up, but no such luck. That's the unfortunate part of it. So no badge for me. Ryan remains undefeated. And yeah, it is what it is. I'm not terribly worried about these things. I'm just disappointed because it was a struggle. I could have, when the cramps started happening, I could have easily just said, this isn't happening today, guys, and jumped off the bike and left the last 70 kilometers or so, you know, and just called it a day. But, you know, I wanted to press on, and I did. And it just gets to that point, you know, in a ride where it's like, you don't want to give up. You don't want to stop. You know, kind of putting your mind over matter and just getting the job done. Because all you guys cycle, you guys all know it puts you in some dark places sometimes. And it'll come around, like your body will adjust, and you will get back in the flow, and all of a sudden, and like I said, at the end there, the last 10K, it was flat. I had my second wind. I was picking up some paces. I mean, the funny part was, for as long as I was struggling, I didn't lose a ton of spots. for a good amount of time. The guys that were passing me were the guys that were in the main group that I had lost, and you know, a couple guys that were up there that were really, you know, in complete studs going around there. 5 watts a kilo, crazy times up Box Hill every time, like nothing that I'm ever going to be close to. But that's the irony of it. Hey, Darren. Thanks, Ryan. I look forward to your video, Ryan, actually, to see your experience. I know what mine was. I'm curious to see yours. You know, hey, there's a lot of good stuff out of there. Like, I mean, I had Barry Bonds' number. Barry Bonds, you know, I can't remember what lap it was where I lapped Barry Bonds, which, you know, being as big a professional sports athlete as he is here in North America is a huge win for me. So, you know, and I think Barry's a bit older than I am, but I think we're relatively comparable in ages. Exactly, Miguel. It's yeah, it was interesting to see. I'd never seen that before on all my rides. That's why that's why when I passed him, I was kind of like, oh, what's that red check mark? And then when I saw the names, I thought Barry Bonds, and obviously you confirmed it. I don't know. I haven't looked. I was, like I said, I felt, I didn't know what quite to do with myself afterwards. It's just kind of, you feel a little dejected, you're disappointed, you know, it's, you know, you're my official cutoff was 550 some. I think when the crash happened, I was at 530 something, so it took 10 minutes of nothing to kind of disconnect it. But there was over 1,000 registered. I would say a third finished maybe. So I mean, that puts like Ryan in a very small group of people that actually completed that ride. And then some people in the chat were saying that Eric Min was struggling as well on his ride. So I'll do it again. I mean, next year when I have time off, like, I mean, the thing is this week being Christmas, and you know, I have a lull in my work, so I just kind of like, we're just kind of puttering around. I'm at the start of my training block, so I mean, I had a good time off the bike, you know, to fully kind of recover. And you know, I was suffering from the elevation change and some illness and stuff like that. So I feel okay now. So it's a good time to start. So, I mean, sure, next year, we will definitely take a look at things and maybe do it again if somebody's doing it. I think the key is you want to do it with a big group of people. You want to find your people and stick with your people. You know, Peter, before we crashed, Peter's like, you're going to crush my time. I'm like, yeah, but Peter, you did it by yourself. You did that solo. That's a completely different nightmare altogether, doing it solo. You know, nobody to draft off of, no speed boost on the flats, because it is pretty flat other than the climb. It just kind of goes, hey, don't get dropped. So, hey, Lee. Make it a year-end event? Possibly, yeah. We'll definitely look into it. I mean, badge hunting's not my thing on Zwift, to be honest. I Zwift to race those races and kind of break up the training. The training part, most of it takes place on Trainer Road, so it's like one screen and numbers, which is very exciting for everybody to watch. That's why I don't live stream it. I think I've done it once. If I don't see you guys tomorrow, Happy New Year. You DJing your way into the new year, Darren, or are you going out and partying? Or are you DJing somewhere else? Hey, Steph, how's it going? Good to see you. Oh, I'm glad to see a lot of people that were in Zwifty's podcast here coming over. I mean, it was a good show today, a good show up too for the podcast, which is always awesome to see. Almost perfect timing, like a perfect transition. If YouTube had a raid feature, it would be awesome. But it doesn't. Neither laugh. I'm having a very quiet period at the moment. That's all good. I don't know if it's going to be an easy race, Steph. I mean, it's definitely suited towards me. But easy, I don't know. Like I said, this new 2-category thing, I am at, what's my race score here? See, we're at 270 to 390. I think I'm at like 3 something. I think it went up arbitrarily. Yeah, I'm at 335. So we'll see. The last race where at podium pushed me up to 335, which just kind of pushed me out of the bottom of the category here, I think, because these races, I think it's like 290 or something like that. I really like this new category. Do you like it split, Darren? Like, what do you like about it? I'm curious. I did an ITT before that, flat as fast one. Nice. I did it earlier. It was spicy in my group. And that's the thing. There's some guys that can push it, and there's no rest. I mean, I just want a good, kind of chill. Let's go out. Let's just do, because it's flat. There's like one little bump, like 1%, that if you're laying down a lot of power for a long time, does feel like a bit, but we just sit in the draft and take it from there, right? Let's switch up the HUDs for this one. When's your video coming out, Ryan? I'm sure you're working on that. I was the 500, 650 group, ranked 650. It was fun. Yeah, that's not what I would call fun. I'm too lazy for people to be fast, man. I got time for that. Maybe a live premiere tomorrow. Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, let's see. I mean, I don't know. Like, we've been tapping on the door when we've been sitting at the top of the other cat before they switched it up here. Now I'm in the 550 category. See, that's no fun. I want to race, but I don't want to race hard. Mid of January. Awesome. I look forward to it, man. I look forward to it. I sent you a friend request on Discord. I got something to bounce by you too, Ryan. I was in the 450 to 570. I'm just too lazy. I just want to like chill and then work for 15 to 20 seconds. Call it a sprint. That's it, right? I'd even be down. Like I said, I always kind of want a velodrome in Zwift so we can do like a quick chase race in there. Maybe do 10 laps, 5 kilometers, fast pace. Ooh, 288. Ryan's videos are produced and edited by Sir Christopher Nolan. So when it Does come out a little bit more. Nice. Nice, yeah. I mean, Ryan does put the time in. Ryan, that's the thing with YouTube, is that if you're a good storyteller and you put in the time to the editing, that it's definitely a good thing. I think I'm coming to the realization that I'm just lazy all across the board. All across the board. Only 5 advanced races a day. I don't think at a time that I can do them, I will not race what they've done with ZRaces. They split the other category. Sounds like a good idea. I mean, the top is still kind of, because the advanced, they've got the top guys in the advanced, and then they have that top group. I think it's in zone 2. So, I mean, everybody still kind of has 2 categories, but who knows? Both need a 20-minute FTV. All right, we got like 3:30 to go before we go to ASMR mode and breathe heavily into the Rode mic. For those of you that have been around for a while will know that Rode sponsors the channel, and I appreciate it. They've made these mics available. They have been awesome for streaming. I used to have the big mic in front of me, and these have been fantastic. There is a link, an affiliate link down below for those of you who want to start utilizing them. It's, I think it's a nice touch, and it cuts out the fan noise. Hey, Rob. Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks. 769. '69, dudes. Great movie. You gotta love classic Keanu Reeves and Bill and Ted. 80s had its moments for some good stuff, man. Yeah, we'll maybe do the PRL next year, some point. Some point we'll do it. If there's a big enough ride, like I said, I'll do it. It's doable. I mean, the big thing will be for me for hydration strategy. Because I don't need cramps like that again. We need to clip that. There you go, new meme. All right, 125. We got like 35. Oh, yes. The new Redeem. There is a new Redeem. Lee holds all intellectual property associated with that. He is the mastermind behind it. Hopefully we don't need it today. That's right, Steph. Planning. Planning is important. Unfortunately, my primitive ape-like mind, I'm not a great planner.
Oh, the humanity, he is slower than a disabled sausage dog.
Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it. Oh my God, we've been sausage dogged and we haven't even left the pens. I call it technical foul on the play. Illegal use of the sausage dog, Darren. I'm gonna have to give you a timeout. All right, first flat race. Last flat race of the year. Wish me luck. Whew.
Oh, the humanity, he is slower than a disabled sausage dog. Oh, the humanity, he is slower than a disabled sausage dog.
Darren. Oh my God, he's got a new toy, boys.
Oh, the humanity, he is slower than a disabled sausage dog.
If you can't make fun of JD in a race, what else can you do, man? I mean, we're not here to see me win. And I should just make it complicated to spell or spell it. There we go, first tack off the front. We got one responding, two responding. He'll get pulled back. Good test though. The middle at the top, yeah. It really backed off for a bit now. Small kick off the front again. People moving to cover. He'll get pulled back. There goes the attack. Nobody seemed interested to join. Hey, Ethan. All right. Got a pretty big pack for a sprint. Come on, somebody don't do something stupid. Slow and steady. Slow and steady, boys. Pulled up a nice little train. Nobody get excited. Just everybody sit in the pocket. Give JD his chance. Somebody going long.
Oh, the humanity, he is slower than a disabled sausage dog.
Ale, 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 ale!
Ah! Missed a gear. That sucked. That was a poor finish. Wah, wah. Oh. Oh dear.
JD, you're a Marine. What the hell was that? Get your sorry ass back into boot camp. Stat.
.64. That's terrible. 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 Need to get that you suck meme. Oh, well. Yeah, when I stood there, that first kick, it kicked it out of the biggest gear. I don't know if you saw when the whole back end of the trainer decided to move. Joe Pesci, as you wish.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Yeah, I'm not tired. Like that's the problem. I should be dead. Like I should not be able to talk to you guys right now. That was just poor finish. That's not good. Not good. Not where I should have been in that race. But it is like, you know, there's we just did the PRL sort of, but yeah, that 15-second power should be like 8.5, 9. It should be up there. You know, it's I should have maybe gunned it earlier. I was trying to ride the wave, and that was just bad. And like I said, like I don't know if you saw the back end skip when I pushed that first major pedal stroke. Yeah. Yeah, no, at the beginning there was a bit of spice, and then they had the break, and after the break got caught, I think those guys just kind of they were good to do it as a sprint, which I get. Yeah, no, it's at that you're right, Steph. At that pace, like my 15 seconds should be way, way, way higher than that. Oh, I know. You know, I'll say this, like the PRL, recovery protocol is everything. I'll preach this till the day I die. It doesn't matter what sport you're in. Recovery protocols are always good. So, I mean, we can't all afford professional masseuses and all that kind of stuff, but there's a lot of stuff that you can do. The two things that I swear by for my recovery, number one, not sponsored, compression boots. If you have compression boots and you throw those on after your shower, after a race for an hour, and do what I do and just listen to an audiobook, or, you know, listen to some music, kind of de-stress and, you know, deconstruct what happened in your mind, it'll go. A lot of times I'll fall asleep. Like I do an hour session. You got to kind of build it in after the fact. But what that does for your DOMs or delayed onset muscle soreness is phenomenal. It flushes things out. And after a big ride like the PRL, doing it a second time just on your recovery day, it will do wonders. I have like 0 DOMs from that. And for those of you that watched that will have seen how severe my muscle cramps were. I could feel this one a bit in this race. I was getting a little worried for a minute, but to be honest, it's fine. And then the other one is to sort of offset that. You got to make sure you flush. And like I said, you know, me with the ice baths for the last 2 years, I've learned a lot of things. Ice baths are phenomenal. You just have to do them in a way that you don't do them directly after the race. I stopped doing that now. I typically do it later on in the evening or first thing in the morning, and it just helps kind of reduce some of that inflammation that happens to be there. Yeah, we still did too many kilometers before. This is true. This is true. I mean, I mean, if ultimately the best results of the thing, I mean, I shouldn't be riding as many kilometers as I am before these races as a warm-up, but I mean, it's kind of sandwiched the races in between. But, you know, it's not unhappy. Like I said, I moved up the category. I mean, 10th isn't bad, or 11th isn't bad. It's just, I know it should have been better. But it's all good. It's all good. We got a pace partner here. Who do we got? He's like D, and he's gonna blow past me. Yeah, I will, I'll definitely do a video at some point on the PRL once I kind of digest some things. I've got ZRL stuff to do because that starts out pretty quick in the new year. We got a ton of things really kind of to do. I've got a complete backlog of vlogs. I think I've got like the Tour de Bonesse from the summer coming up, which we vlog about every year. Although this year maybe a little bit of a shorter vlog for that, but it's all good. And yeah, well, I'll probably have a couple more random streams in the meantime. I don't know if I'm going to officially finish the Rafa 500 or not. I've still got, because of the little glitch debacle, I think instead of being pretty much finished at this point, I've still got about 40-50K to do, which isn't a ton, but it's enough. It's enough to do in the next day kind of thing. So, well, yeah, should be good. If you guys have any events or streams going on over the next few days, let me know in the Discord, or if you drop any videos, because I would love to see them. I would definitely love to check them out. Okay, so what happened? Computer crashed. I guess I'll retell the thing. So the computer did crash. What happened? There was like a glitch on, I saw a glitch on Zwift. My rider just disappeared. All I could see was my hat. And I'm like, uh-oh. And that part of the stream had already stopped. OBS froze. Zwift froze. Sauce was still running. So I could still see the little tiny map in the top right-hand corner. I was still moving. I could still see the distance. So I kept going in hopes that I could shut things down and basically salvage Zwift and finish the ride. What ultimately happened is the computer completely froze, turned off, rebooted, and it was over. And there was nothing there. I went, took a look for the fit file from Zwift. There was nothing. And that was kind of it. And I went and sulked for a little bit and came back and turned on the computer, got things going, wanted to see if it was kind of running, if I could get things going, if there was something up with the computer or what exactly had happened. And lo and behold, there was a 166 kilometer fit file. So Zwift ran it for about 20 odd minutes after I dropped before it finally said, he's dropped, we'll save the file. So it wasn't a total loss, but it was just, given the situation of my legs and how painful that was the disappointing part, because as I mentioned before, I would not had continued had I know that was going to be the outcome. Like, I would have just said, okay, I'll save my legs. We'll live to play another day. we'll save, we'll do another big effort tomorrow kind of thing. Let these recover. But yeah, I mean, not a complete loss, so it's good. What I'm more worried about for that stuff is the heart rate data and power data for my training program and Trainer Road, which when that got plugged in, it's like, yeah, dude, you're like totally off your trainer plan right now. You need to rest. So I had to take a full rest day yesterday, which was fine because yesterday was my birthday. So it just meant spent time with family and friends and hung out and just kind of chilled and, had a nice pancake breakfast at Denny's, because here in North America on Denny's, or on your birthday at Denny's, they give you a free breakfast. So, that's what we do. We go to Denny's every 4 days after Christmas. Yeah. There's the mileage is still there, Rob. So I mean, it's good. I mean, like I said, for me, the very important part is the training data, right? So we can kind of move forward with the training plan and adjust and all that kind of stuff. Versus, the badge. The badge is disappointing in the sense that I have to do that whole thing again. And I mean, it is arduous. Happy 18th birthday. I fucking wish, man. Oh, to be 18. My God. To have long flowing hair and rich and 18-year-old testosterone. How nice would that be? But, we're 55, we got a receding hairline, got to wear glasses to see or read anything, so there you go. Birthday calls for a PRL. But, I mean, those of you that were watching the stream, I mean, early on, because I was in the group with Eric, Min, pulling them around, joking, giving them rides on. I'm like, hey, I need to get Eric Min to recognize the YouTube channel, get on his good side. Maybe I can get a trip to Morocco, or, go to the Zwift meetup or whatever. Now I'm just like, well, maybe I should be emailing Eric Min. It's like, hey bro, where's my badge? You can make this up to me by sending me to the Zwift meetup. But anyways, it was fun. Like I said, it was a massive ride. There was lots of good people in there. Ryan was in there. He finished. That was awesome. I think Paul was in there. I think Simon was in there as well. Did I see Simon? Who else did we see in there? There was a good number of people in that thing. Barry Bonds was in there, which was kind of cool. It was kind of cool to see Barry Bonds there. And then, who else? I'm missing somebody. Who else am I missing? Oh, yeah. Paul Young. Paul Young, which was awesome. Big shout out to you guys in the chat for checking on Paul to make sure that he was okay. Luckily, he was just experiencing the same thing I was. Muscle cramps. The Barry Bonds. Which is ironic because I am reading a book called Wheelman, which talks all about the behind the scenes of the big doping scandal between, U.S. Postal Service and Lance Armstrong, and one of that. And if you recall, Barry Bonds got caught up in that and actually did some time for his use of steroids. He was using steroids in Major League Baseball. Him and Jose Canseco and all these guys that set the home run records, they were using andro. But the thing was at the time is like andro wasn't even illegal at that time. It wasn't considered a banned substance. For anybody who's done professional sports, I mean, you get so many blood tests and urine tests and all that kind of stuff to make sure that you're clean. It's crazy. I mean, I went through that with fighting. I would get urine tests, blood tests, all the time, health checks, all that kind of stuff. And there's a laundry list of things that you can't take. Like back in the day, you had to be careful. There was a thing called Sudafed here, which is a cold medication. If you took that, you could actually test positive for basically banned substances because it had ephedrine in it back then. And there were people that I knew that actually got dinged for that. They weren't doping, but they basically used the wrong cold medication and got penalized for it. And that's how strict those things are. And in the heyday of sports supplements back then, where a lot of things are not approved necessarily by anything other than the FDA, meaning it's safe for consuming, a lot of these facilities aren't lab proof, so there's cross-contamination, and a lot of times these supplements that they were making other things in those labs, so there was a possibility. And I mean, there still is these days. I mean, that's still a real thing. So if you are a competitive athlete, you don't want to accidentally get nipped for something that you're not doing. Hope he wasn't, or dope and laugh out loud. I don't think so. I mean, I lapped Barry Bonds. I mean, when I passed him, what happened? I passed him, I saw his name, saw the check mark. Miguel pulled out the reference, saw that it was him, and sure enough, it was him. It's it was kind of cool to see. I didn't even know that Zwift had a verified check mark, to be honest, at the end of the day. But no, I mean, he was awesome to watch playing baseball. I mean, substances aren't in baseball in the States. Those substances were never banned. The reason that Barry got caught up was because some of the substances are illegal in the States. So it's kind of one of those weird things. What he was doing wasn't banned by the sport, but it was American federal law, which is weird because the way the States works is they have federal law and then they have state law. So just for example, marijuana in the States is illegal across the states by federal law. But in specific states, you can go buy it and it's free to use and it's not illegal. In most states, actually. Some it's still not. But the problem is that it is federally illegal. So if you get caught with it, I mean, you can do some serious time. It's a weird kind of situation they got going down there, the way they have their laws set up there. But that's how it is. And if you cross the border, you're really screwed. So yeah, that's kind of it. But anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate the cheering on. Sorry to disappoint, but we got flat racing all month. We will do better next time. Like I said, I'm starting to feel my stride again. I'm starting to feel not too bad. That PRL would have helped, build a bigger base, hopefully. And with some good interval training, hopefully we'll bring you guys a result that you much deserve, and hopefully I get, because I haven't had one in a long time where we pulled first. So anyways, guys, till next time, see ya.